It was Christmas Eve, the kind of quiet night that promised warmth, lights, and laughter, but, for billionaire David Hartman, it was anything but peaceful. Dressed in his sharp suit, he stormed through the snow-covered streets, heart racing, mind filled with anger and unanswered questions. Just days ago, his marriage had ended in bitter silence. And tonight he couldn't shake the feeling that he had to see his ex, Emma, one last time. David never expected to be standing outside her door, fists clenched, ready to demand the truth about what had happened while he was gone. The door opened, and the sight that greeted him froze him in place. Emma, glowing in the soft Christmas lights, was holding something that made David's chest tighten, something he never imagined seeing tonight. His emotions swung wildly between shock, disbelief, and an impossible kind of hope as he stepped inside. The warmth of the house and the soft cries from the room ahead made him pause. Who or what was waiting for him there? And how would this Christmas Eve change everything he thought he knew about his past, his family, and his future? The answers were just out of reach, leaving David on the edge of something extraordinary. David's eyes darted around the living room, taking in every detail. The Christmas tree twinkled with golden lights, ornaments reflecting memories of happier times. The scent of cinnamon and pine filled the air, a sharp contrast to the storm of emotions inside him. He had left this house months ago, heartbroken and bitter after the divorce, convinced he would never return, yet here he was, drawn by a mixture of curiosity, guilt, and something he couldn't name. Emma looked up, her expression calm but guarded, as if she had been expecting him, but wasn't sure how to feel. David's mind raced, recalling their last bitter argument and the unresolved questions about their future, their past, and now, this mysterious presence in her arms. He knew she had been keeping secrets, but he never imagined the truth would hit him like this on Christmas Eve. As he stepped closer, the soft cries of the newborn grew louder, tugging at a part of David he thought had long been buried. Memories of their shared dreams, the laughter, and the plans they once made flashed before his eyes. Who was this baby, and why had Emma kept it hidden? His heart pounded, knowing that tonight would reveal answers, but whether they would bring joy or devastation remained uncertain. David stood frozen, the soft glow of the Christmas lights reflecting in his eyes as he tried to make sense of the scene before him. Emma gently rocked the newborn, humming a lullaby he didn't recognize. The baby's tiny hands reached out, almost instinctively, and David felt an unfamiliar ache in his chest, a mixture of longing, regret, and wonder. He had missed so much, months of milestones, quiet nights, and unseen joys. And now he was confronted with a reality he had never imagined. Emma's voice broke the silence. "You didn't know, did you?" Her words were calm, but there was an edge of hurt that cut deeper than the cold outside. David swallowed hard, searching her face for clues, for answers. He had always thought their conflicts were about money, pride, and misunderstandings, but now, everything felt bigger, more complicated, and more personal than he had ever allowed himself to see. As he looked around, memories of their past blended with the present tension. There were unanswered questions about why she had kept the baby hidden, and rumors about his business rivals interfering in his personal life only made things murky. Every step he took forward seemed to pull him deeper into a web of family secrets, old grievances, and unforeseen consequences. Tonight wasn't just about seeing the baby, it was about facing a reality he had avoided, and the choices ahead felt heavier than he could bear. David's hands trembled as he took a cautious step closer, the soft cries of the newborn echoing in the quiet room. Emma's eyes met his, a mixture of defiance and fear, and for the first time, David realized how fragile everything had become. He had barged into her home with anger in his chest, ready to demand answers. But now the reality of what lay before him, the tiny life in her arms made every word he had rehearsed impossible to speak. "David," Emma began, her voice barely above a whisper, yet it carried a weight that stopped him mid-step. There were secrets she hadn't told him, truths she had guarded fiercely, and he could sense that tonight, everything would surface. His mind raced. How could he reconcile the man he had been with the father he might need to become? And why had she chosen to keep this hidden until now? The room seemed smaller, the Christmas lights flickering like they were mirroring his uncertainty. Outside, snow fell heavier, pressing against the windows as if the world itself was holding its breath. David's heart pounded, caught between fear, guilt, and an inexplicable hope. Every moment stretched taut, each second pulling him closer to a revelation he wasn't sure he was ready to face but that he couldn't turn away from. Tonight, nothing would remain hidden. Just as David reached out, ready to speak, the soft chime of his phone cut through the tense silence. He glanced at the screen and froze. A message from an unknown number flashed. Asterisk, if you want to see the truth about the baby, meet me at the Hartmanist alone. His heart skipped a beat. Questions he hadn't even dared to ask now clawed at him. Who had sent this? And what truth were they promising one Emma hadn't shared? Emma noticed his hesitation. "David, who is that?" she asked, eyes narrowing with concern. Before he could respond, a second message arrived. This one more urgent. Asterisk, time is running out. Everything you think you know about tonight is a lie. Panic surged through him. The Christmas Eve he thought would be about confronting old wounds had just shifted into a maze of secrets, danger, and betrayal. David's mind spun. Could this be linked to his business rivals? Or was it something closer to home, something he never expected? The warmth of the house, the soft glow of the Christmas lights, and the cries of the newborn now felt suffocating. Every instinct screamed for him to protect the child, but the unknown threat lurking beyond these walls made him hesitate. One thing was certain: tonight, nothing would remain simple. And the stakes had just become terrifyingly personal. David's pulse raced as he raced through the snow toward the Hartman estate, the mysterious messages burning in his mind. When he arrived, the grand house was dark, eerily silent, except for the faint glow of a single office light. Inside, a figure stepped forward. It wasn't a business rival, as he had feared, but Emma's older brother, someone he had trusted years ago. "David," the man said, his voice tight, "there's something you need to know about the baby. And your company?" His words hit David like a punch. The baby, it turned out, was not only Emma's child but also carried a hidden stake in Hartman Industries. Cleverly protected by her family, while David had been distracted by business and pride, Emma had kept the secret to ensure the child's safety, fearing that rivals would exploit any weakness. Staggering back, David realized how much he had underestimated the depth of Emma's courage and foresight. He stepped into the house again, holding the newborn carefully, seeing Emma's relief and love in her eyes. Just as he thought the tension had lifted, the phone buzzed again, this time with a live video link showing someone inside Hartman Industries, smiling with a file labeled, *Next Move. Christmas Eve. David hugged the baby tighter, understanding that even as one truth was revealed, the night's events had set the stage for a challenge far bigger than he had imagined. David sank into the couch, the newborn sleeping peacefully in his arms, and for the first time that night, he felt a sense of calm. Emma sat beside him, her hand brushing his, a silent acknowledgement that the past could no longer control their present. They talked quietly, piecing together the truths that had been hidden for months: the baby's safety, the careful plans to protect Hartman Industries, and the sacrifices Emma had made to shield them all. Outside, the snow had stopped, leaving the world blanketed in silence, as if the universe had paused to let them breathe. David realized that anger and pride had blinded him to what truly mattered: family, trust, and love. He had rushed into the house seeking confrontation, only to find clarity, forgiveness, and a chance to rebuild. As they decorated the tree together, the weight of the night lifted, replaced by a quiet hope. The baby's soft giggles filled the room, a reminder that even amidst betrayal, secrets, and fear, life had a way of surprising them with joy. David knew the road ahead would not be simple, but for the first time, he felt ready to face it with Emma, the child, and a renewed understanding of what truly mattered. This Christmas Eve had changed everything.